So, Miyabi's pretty fun. Recently, Zenless Zone Zero came out with its 1.40 update. This brought many things, including being able to walk around the city as any agent you own, and even being able to make those agents follow you around so you can have a little buddy system as you walk around. Even the coffee got changed. Now, you can choose between two things. Always. You don't have to wait for a certain day. You can choose between the 80 and you can choose between the 60 with the plus extra drop rate for like a single time with the chips. And personally, one of my favorites is the ultimate change, where previously there was one ultimate bar that was shared across the entire group. So only one character was ever able to use their ultimate at a time, which meant that most characters, you would never be able to see their ultimate ever. Ever. Because they were just not as useful as other ultimates. Like if your attacker wanted to ult, your supports would never be able to ult, even though they made their own animation for it, they have their own damage, they do their own thing, but you'll never be able to see, you'll never be able to do it, because it's not optimal. You would never want to do it, unless you want to go out of your way to do it. But now, you can just do that. And that's awesome. That is awesome. That might be my favorite change, outside of something we'll get to later. But it's very, 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 very cool. And that is perfect, since they just made the game harder by adding a new endgame mode called Deadly Assault. Now, Deadly Assault it's deadly. It's very, very, very hard to get 3 stars. It's not a super hard difficulty, but to get all the rewards from it is difficult. If anyone ever tells you that the difficulty spike doesn't exist, they're gaslighting you. They are gaslighting, they are rage baiting, they are gatekeeping. Do not listen to them. Listen to me. But hey, that's just my opinion. But you might not care about the quality of life, which is stupid, you should. But if you don't, maybe the story might pique your interest. 1.4 has a wonderful story that really brings the whole everybody together. So you have the Sons of Caladon, you have the Cunning Hares, you have Neps, you have obviously Section 6, the new people, and they all come together and they're all here for some reason. Or Bellbog Industries is also there, but everybody forgets about Bellbog Industries, so who cares? But the 5 of them are there. They're there to fight like the final fight. And I think that's really cool. Is it an earned moment? No, not really. But it's a thing that happens. And I think that's pretty cool. But hey, let's say you're not a story guy or gal. You're a story non-believer. You hate the story or you don't really care. How about side quests? Well, as we all know, the TV mode has recently undergone development with no longer having to do TV mode. That's good. And now you get the option between either doing TV mode, if you're a masochist, or you get to do a cool new little run your little bang boo guy around a little obstacle course instead. And I think that's really cool. And it's actually surprisingly fun. Interestingly, if you've ever played like Fall Guys, it feels like that. It feels like that. It feels like you're playing Fall Guys. So if you enjoy that, you might enjoy this. Of course, if you don't enjoy either of those things, you might be SOL. Sorry, my friend. Still, at least personally, I would rather run around and play Fall Guys than have to beep, 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 beep with my little bang boo guy on the TV screen and have to wait every 2 seconds so I can watch the train go. I don't want to watch that. I want to move around with my little guy. And you know what? I'm happy that now I can do that. But of course, with every new update comes new characters. And that is obviously the selling point and the end-all be-all for a gacha game. You know, you got to sell the characters to make the money, right? And for 1.4, we have Miyabi and Harumasa. And I'm going to talk about Harumasa first because Little Miss Fox Ears gives me mixed emotions. And I will explain that later, I swear. But as for right now, we will start with Harumasa. Harumasa is this game's Dr. Ratio. He is the unit that is an S5 star, max level unit that you get for free. And I think that is very cool that they're doing that. Is it because Hoyoverse thinks that nobody's going to pull for the guy? I couldn't tell you.
Is it time to clock out?
I could tell you. But I can tell you that this man is cool. Very, very cool. At least in attack-wise, maybe not personality-wise. And even more so, I think he's going to fill a certain role as if he was Dr. Ratio. Because I feel right now, he's okay, but with the more supports we get, he's only going to increase in value. But at the end of the day, he is just a pill junkie. But he's our pill junkie. And that's what matters. That's the Christmas miracle we've all been waiting for. And I don't want to be a shill, but if you dropped ZZZ, that's fine. I get it. I completely understand that. I dropped it as well. But this is the time to pick it back up. You get a free 5-star unit that I think is actually good, and I'll get into the reasons as to why he is like gameplay good in a second. But he not only is good, but he's free. And the story's pretty good. And you can pull for Fox Girl. And I gotta tell you, his animations are stunning. When you play as him, you feel powerful. You feel so powerful. You feel like you are actually him. You're him. You're just a chill guy who likes to devour pills. And that's awesome. I love that for him. I mean, he has a bow that he can rip in 2 halves and use like 2 different daggers because they're just sharp. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's so simple, but I love it. And the fact that he's electric, so all of his attacks like have some sort of electric trail to them. It's just cool. It's just cool. It's just cool. Even though I can't understand what's going on half the time whenever I'm fighting as him, he is awesome. I mean, he has a move where he can pull back his bow, shoot it, and then almost appear in front of them. Like, anime cliche appear in front of you. Ching, 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 ching. It's cool. It's really, really, really cool. And while his design as like a character may be kind of basic, I think that's kind of the point. He's not some flamboyant pill junkie. He's just a depressed pill junkie. If you've seen his trailer, you know what I'm talking about. And it makes sense that he's not super flamboyant and flashy because he's in a group of people who are not super flamboyant and flashy. In fact, they are probably the least flamboyant people out of any of the groups. And I actually think that's kind of cool that they're not super flamboyant because it's really only them and Neps, which of course makes sense because they're the 2 like professional government type of employees type thing. But everybody else is like, we got the literal maids, we got Freaky Friday, we got construction, which surprisingly has a lot of variety to it. But I'm very okay with that. In fact, I am more than okay with that. And you know what I'm even more okay with? The fact that we're getting more dudes. We need more dudes in this game. Now, I'm not gay, but I can enjoy a dude. I can a gacha dude as much as the next guy, right? Because before Lighter came out, which is literally Jotaro, by the way, which is awesome. They did great with Lighter. Let's go down the list. Let's go down the list of what we got before. We got schizophrenic robot. We got a furry. We got oh yeah, a giant bear. And then we have a kind of basic white guy. That's what we have to that's what we got to pick from. I know all my ladies out there don't know, they don't want to have those options because all the niches are already there. If you're a furry, you got 2 options. You got 2 options. If you're into robot people, you got an option. If you're into basic white dudes, I guess you've got an option too. But with the release of Lighter, now, that's awesome. Now we have literal Jotaro. And now with Harumasa, we have a different type of white dude that isn't basic white dude. All I'm saying is we need more men. I want to see more men in this game. Because so long as I know that they're going to keep pumping out women because I know it makes the big bucks, and that's fine. But you shouldn't forget about the dudes, all right? If you've seen how rabid people are going for Harumasa, I think you might be surprised by how much money you make. I'm talking to you specifically, Hoyoverse. If you make more cool dudes. Sue me. Sue me. But that's what I think. But enough about that tangent. Let's move on to the killer of my wife. You see, I have rather mixed emotions about Miyabi. While she is a very cool character, and believe me, she is very, very cool, and she's also extremely powerful, I love her. I love her. She's awesome. She is the most cliche swordswoman ever. She has the shing shing, where you have your little katana, and then, someone gets and they bleed out and they get cut. You know what I'm talking about? Where the whole enemy is like standing still, and then she chink. Oh, there's blood everywhere. You imagine it. But then they fall to the ground, and it's like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's the most anime cliche shit ever, but I love it. And you know what? That reflects exactly how she is in gameplay. That is awesome. That is awesome. Her EX skill is literally that. It's literally that, what I just explained. It's awesome. And you know what's even more awesome? She has a special slash. 3 different special slashes. But generally, we're only going to talk about the third one, because the first 2 are kind of basic. Now, this charged slash is even more powerful than her ultimate, and it's rather simple. You just hold the button down, and it wipes everything off of the screen. Do you know the damage modifier on this thing? Take a guess. Take a guess. Take a guess in the comments as to what damage modifier is for this final charge slash. Typically, you'd be like, oh, it's like 300%, it's like 400%, maybe even 500 or 600 if you're really getting it. Try 4,000. What are you talking about? Who signed off on this? That's crazy. 4,000? Have you seen the clips of the C6 Miyabis, like, killing a whole wave of enemies and like that? Like that? You don't even have to be C6. You could be C0. She's overpowered. And she's not just overpowered. She has her own element. She has her own element called Frost. Frost! And you know what Frost is? You know what Frost is? It's ice, but better. Now, of course, I'm not oblivious as to why this is. Power creep is the name for it. Of course, for those uninitiated, it is simply when a new character comes out that completely overshadows a past character and does almost everything they do, but better. They just do have better numbers, do more stuff, that sort of thing. And I believe that is what is happening here. To my beloved, my wife. My wife has been murdered and cannibalized by this woman, by this fox. I think Miyabi is really cool. I just wish she wasn't actively cannibalizing my wife. Is that a crazy thing to say? But who even cares? Who even cares? Who cares about that thing? I don't care about power creep. I don't. I don't care about it. Why would I care about it? Let's go back to the special slash. Surely there's some sort of conditions you have to meet to be able to use that sort of god shattering power, right? This super slash type of thing is locked behind a special mechanic called the Falling Frost mechanic. Now this, you need 6 stacks of Falling Frost. And to get Falling Frost, you need to do one of 4 things. You can get 2 stacks from your EX special. You can get 3 stacks from your ultimate. You can get 1 stack from triggering Frostburn. And you can get 2 stacks from triggering a disorder. Now you may be thinking, wait, lunatic, what's Frostburn? What's Frostburn? Well, as it turns out, Miyabi is an anomaly character. If you look at Miyabi's best team, it is Miyabi, obviously, Yanagi, and Sokaku. So if you skipped Yanagi, you're boned, like I might have done. I didn't do that, but if I did do that, I might be boned right now. But, you can use Lycon. You can use Lycon instead, because Frostburn is the anomaly disorder that only Miyabi can give. So, you want to give Frostburn to somebody, but you can't proc Frostburn over and over and over again. Once you proc Frostburn once, you have to proc a different disorder on that enemy, and then you can proc Frostburn again. So you need to have other characters, typically, that are either anomaly, so they can trigger disorder, or something that can trigger like shatter, or assault, or burn. And, Lycon can do that. So, there's also a team where you can have Miyabi, Lycon, Sokaku. And I built Sokaku. And, I don't have Lycon. I don't have Lycon. I don't have it. When I'm trying to build a team and I look at the Ice archetype, as of now, there are only 4 characters, because apparently Miyabi is classified as Ice. And that is Lycon, that is Sokaku, that is Miyabi, and then there's Ellen. Ellen's there too, yeah. And I fear that Ellen will be yesterday's garbage for many people. And I feel people will always remember her. But she's being cannibalized in front of you guys. In front of me. But back to the team building, I have a built Sokaku, and I have a built Miyabi. But I'm looking for who else I can use in that team, because obviously you need 3 people. So I'm looking and I see Piper. And recently I got C6 Piper because I've been rolling on the Miyabi banner, and I was like, that's not a bad deal. I could use Piper. But then I realized I haven't built Piper, and Piper isn't very good. Unfortunately. Sorry, Piper lovers out there. Your gal ain't that good. And Ellen is perfect. Ellen is perfect. So I was like, why can't I just use Miyabi, Ellen, Sokaku, right? That's perfect, because you can apply ice faster if you have 2 ice units, right? So then they can shatter, and then you can frostburn, you can shatter, and then frostburn, and they're dead, right? And she may be replacing like Lycon or Arena or Yanagi, but she could still trigger shatter. She can still trigger it just fine. So there's really no issue for me to. There's no issue. There's none. I mean, she has everything you could want as a Miyabi support. She can, go with Sokaku, which is obviously her best support. Sokaku is obviously her best support, but Ellen's no slouch either, because they can both shatter. They can both apply ice and shatter, and then frostburn, and then shatter, and then frostburn and shatter, and then the enemy's dead. But I feel I may be coming on strong here, but perhaps even Miyabi may be supporting Ellen. It may be that Miyabi's the support and Ellen's the damage dealer. Because she could deal some damage, right? Ellen can deal some damage because Ellen is the pinnacle. Ellen is the top of the pyramid. She is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. She's the whole pyramid. She's the whole thing. She's all you would ever need. And suddenly there's this foxtrot that's trying to top her. And not in the good way. Just because she can wipe out the whole enemy team by herself doesn't mean she's better than Ellen. No. Because Ellen has she has a shark tail. She has a shark tail. Miyabi doesn't have that. She has a cool weapon. She has the scissors. She I'm sorry, Ellen. You're getting devoured by a fox. Sorry you had to see me like that. I've since come to a shocking realization that Ellen is getting power corrupt. She's not who she once was. But that's not really the right way to put it. She'll always be who she is. She'll always be that lovable maid that is kind of tomboyish and has a shark tail. And she's the best. Now, I just hope that, at least my other mains and my other people that I've built won't be totally dragged into the mud by any other future characters or... Who is calling at a time like this? I don't know if I want to pick that up. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up. Oh, it's him. Hey, yeah, man. No. I'm good. No, I'm not busy. See, what? Yeah. Of course, I know the idol girl. Yeah, 1.5. Yeah. The other girl on the banner with her. The God, what was her name? Right. Evelyn. Gotcha. What about her? She's gonna power creep soldier. Oh, come on!